Hello, Internet. Welcome back to Factorio. This is Doofus K. Happy 2016. Today is January 1st. So, in my usual style, I will continue to write the year as 2015 for the next year. So, a few things have changed since the last episode. I have a more, I hate to say, more efficient layout because I don't know if that's actually true, but um, I've removed part of the green goo section and to make room for these oil things. So I have just basically begun to get that to work again. The reason why I was doing this is because I needed more room to eventually create blue. Is it blue goo? I think it's, yeah, red, green, and then blue, and then purple goo is the order. So I've got red and green. I've actually got quite a bit stored up. 379, something like that. So I've got quite a bit of green goo stored up. Whoa, that's right. Okay, so this is version 2. Let me back up a little bit. This is version 12.20, and one of the main things is that all these icons have changed. So, quite a lot of this stuff is different, and now that's totally going to screw me up because I'm not going to know what they look like. But that's fine. I don't know that the actual in-game stuff has changed yet. I know they were going to go through a kind of an art rework kind of thing. But yeah, when you go into here, this stuff has definitely changed. So I was trying to go through and finish all of the research that required just red goo, but it looks like that's already done. So yeah, a lot of this stuff has changed. All of the icons have changed, so I'm not going to know what I'm doing here. So let's just finish some of these basic ones. Laser, don't really care about that. Electronics. That might be necessary. Lab efficiency is pretty critical. Let's just do that one. Okay, so let's see. What do I need? I need to finish this green goo line. Inserters and transport belts. Okay. So the other thing that I was sort of messing with here is these smart inserters and also these smart chests. I think I sort of forgot what happened here, but basically once this chest gets full, it stops production. And as you can see, I took some green electronic circuits out, and then the whole chain starts again. So I probably will go over this in a little more detail in the future. These smart chests and smart inserters, they can be a little confusing. I know I had a real tough time getting it set up. And as you can, well, here, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see there's these green and red wires kind of strung all over the place. And that's how you get sort of the logic together to make this work. So basically what this is trying to do is avoid filling up this chest or creating 50 trillion green electronic circuits, which you will never need. Well, I shouldn't say never, because you will, but basically you can change this. So right now I have, if there's less than 100, it starts the process, basically. So, I mean, you can change this to whatever you want. I mean, you can change it to 400 or 200, or I think, it goes to like 2 billion or something like that. Literally 2 billion. Is that 2 billion? Hundreds, 100,000. Yeah, 2 billion. So let's be a little more realistic. Let's start this at 200. Come on, mouse. All right. So smart chests are these little green guys here. And you can tell that they're a smart chest. Well, if you hover over it, it's a smart chest, but they have like a little wire connection thing at the top. This is before the logistics network. Logistics network is when you get robots, and this smart chest thing is a little easier to deal with, I guess. It's not quite as powerful, but it is a little easier to set up. I mean, this is just a basic example of what you want to do. And then, technically speaking, eventually, we can string a wire all the way over here to these two chests, change these to smart chests, but then when there's more than, let's say, 100 or so in each one, the green goo production will shut off. And that's advantageous. So basically we run into a situation here where all these furnaces are pointless because they are stalled. There's not enough room on the line. And we have probably gotten enough steel, but we're going to need a lot of steel, so we'll just let that go. Let's see, what was the other thing? So gears less than 200, yep, that's good. This one's probably wire, yep, wire less than 200. Okay, so let's finish off the green goo in this episode here. So let's see, what do we need? We need to make belts and inserters. Okay. So let's extend this line out a little bit here. Make this go like that. I did make some of these combiners, whatever. I don't know how they work. I haven't really messed with them. I probably will devote an episode to them when I learn more about them. Basically, these are new. The developers are trying to make a more robust kind of logic setup so that you can do all sorts of crazy stuff. There are good examples on the internet. People that are more intelligent than I have figured out how to do it. So, okay, what we got here? Let's make 2 sets of these, because transport belts are pretty handy to have. A lot of transport belts are handy to have. Alright, so the output we don't need to have smart inserters on, and actually the input we don't need to have smart inserters on. Let's put those in there. So we put a smart inserter there. And I think that's it. Let's build a smart chest. How much green wire do I have? Let's make some more green wire. So there is an order in which you want to do this. You want to hook up this chest first, otherwise this whole process will start moving before before you're ready to go. And actually, this one doesn't need to be. Let's make a fast inserter for the output. All right. So the way we do this here. Connect that to the pole, connect that to there, that to there, and then that to there. And then we just click off. Alright, so we say we want to filter iron plates when the circuit connection that is less than, let's say 200. And then you can see that logistics network says not connected, so that's fine. Alright, so if we give this the sucker power here, that will go. And you can see that those fill up. Now the usual rules apply for smart inserters. I mean, they can't, you know, they have to abide by the normal rules of a transport belt, so nothing changes in that respect. So now we need to get these suckers up there. So let's make another. I'm trying to make this as space efficient as possible. Well, poopy pants. Let's see. We can probably do this. Let's clean up some of that. No, I can't do that. I have to do that. I just screwed up my electrical stuff here. Alright, so let's put that here. Alright, that's good. Oh, that isn't good. Nope, this isn't going to work, because I need room for the thing to pick up. Alright, well, let's do it on the other side, then. Even though this is going to look a little messy, it's totes fine. Actually, that's going to take out of there. Well, shiver me timbers here. Let's do this. That will work. Oops, so we want that less than 200. Set. Nope, stop. Okay, that's better. And then down here, we want this to be like that. What's in here? Green? Yep, okay. So we want this to go like this. That to go like that. Logistics, blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to filter by that just in case. Alright, so that should start working. Yep. Perfect. We might actually need fast inserters over here. Oops. We're sort of limiting the speed a little bit by these, but let's see how this line fares. Apparently we're not making gears for some reason. 200 gears. Oh, because that says... Oh, weird. I guess I didn't set that up right. So it says if there's more than 200, take them out of the chest, but then these over here are set to only take out if there's less than 200. So this whole gear production line will never work. So let's do this. Let's make 5 of those. Totally get rid of that smart inserter and just have them crank out, because this one's already set to actually this one isn't even connected, so Alright, so that's good. So that'll use up a little bit of the steel to get that production line going. Anyway. And actually, let's do this. Let's change this to 400. Actually, let's change it to 1,000. I hate having bottlenecks in these systems, and it's really easy to do that. All right, so we are now producing whatchamacallit, transport belts. So you can see there's a little bit of overlap or buffer. You can see it's actually 252. That's just because there's a lag time between when the inserter puts the resources down on the belt and then how long it takes to produce them. So let's make this 400, just for funsies. And our gear production should have been ramped up again, yep. In fact, let's ramp it up even more. Put some fast inserters on there. We want to avoid running into a shortage of gears, because I think we're going to need quite a lot of them. How much steel do we have? Almost 1,000, so that's good. Alright, so that pretty much covers the very, very basics of how to set up just a very easy to use logistics sort of setup. You don't have to use these. I mean, you can set your factory systems up to just continuously make as much crap as you can, but eventually you'll run into a problem with that. Especially when you start adding some of the really, really complicated stuff that requires like three or four items to produce. These are pretty easy to do because it's only a couple items, but it does become more complicated. So you can sort of see down here that I kind of delved into oil refining, and you can see that most of the stuff is full. I will eventually go over that in more detail. They've actually changed these little graphics. They have like little sight glasses on the front, which is really cool. Before, it was impossible to tell how much was in there, except for hovering over it. So petroleum gas eventually will be used for quite a lot of things. Plastics, solid fuel, etc. I do have quite a lot of oil, crude oil. I don't have much storage, only 2,500 storage for actual crude oil, but that's good enough for now. We're doing basic stuff. I do have a radar. You can see that my mini-map is now a little more filled out than it was before. I do have some enemy bases. That's a big one down there. So, yes, we will start making weapons soon. I did give myself some heavy armor, and I made myself a shotgun, and you can see that you can actually shoot it without having enemies nearby. So, pretty soon I'm going to have to start attacking... Oh, here's another pro tip. So let's say... So this is a tree. That's not a good example, but you can just shoot it to get rid of it. Pretty soon we're going to have to start shooting dudes because we're going to need alien goo to create some of the next tier items. We're a little far away from that, but not as far as one might think. So, what happened here? Oh, I don't have any gears. Well, that's a line that I forgot about, so we'll have to fix that in between the next episodes. So that's about a 20-minute episode, just a brief overview of what I've changed, kind of a really quick introduction to basic smart chest systems. So thanks again for watching. This is Doofus K, and we'll see you next episode.